Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to talk start collecting Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and today we're going to take a look at the Gloomspite Gitz, and in particular with Braggit's Bottle Snatchas. Now, this box set is one of the Regiment of Renown box sets that's come out alongside the first Dawnbringers box set, and it does contain a Rabble-Razzle, which is one unique miniature inside the box set at the moment, and some other models for the Gloomspite Gitz. Now, normally this box set would be used as a Regiment of Renown, which you can field with other destruction armies other than Gloomspite Gitz, but for Gloomspite Gitz, we can use all these units normally within our own force, so we're going to talk about building an army around the units in this box set. And so after this, and we've taken a look at all the units that are inside the box set, the options they have, and briefly talked about all the rules they have as well, we'll look at getting some other unit options to have a look at and expand upon the initial force with. We'll then finally finish off the video with a little sample army list of 1,000 points for you to use, hopefully as some inspiration for starting your own force of the Gloomspite Gitz in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. And so, to begin with, first of all, this box set is led by a Rabble-Rouser, a really cool model with all the little bat squigs flying around his head. We have 5 wounds and a 4+ save. Now the Moon, Sickle and Basher are 5 attacks at 3s and 3s, Ren 1 damage D3, and you've got the Mushroom Stuffed Bat Squigs as well, where once per battle you can inflict D3 mortal wounds on 3 different enemy units within 12 inch of this model. The Squig Skull armor that he's wearing will have you have a ward save of 4+, and if you're more than 6 inch away from enemy models, and Get Going You Get allows you to essentially goad an enemy monster towards you. Now, we then have a unit of Squig Herd inside the box set, which is 12 models. There will be 10 Squigs and 2 Herders. These models here will have the Fangfield Gobs from the Squigs, which will be able to put out 3 attacks each, 4s and 3s, Ren 1 damage 1. But the big thing here is Squigs on Wild. When the unit fails battle shot tests, you can actually have the Squigs go around and potentially do some mortal wounds. Now, the issue here is the unit can't receive commands because herding Squigs around is actually pretty hard to do. Now, the next unit is a unit of 10 Squig Hoppers or Boingrot Bounders. Squig Hoppers are a battle line unit at all times for the force, and they've got a cool rule where if they move over an enemy unit with a normal move, run, retreat, you can essentially do some mortal wounds as your Squigs essentially bounce on your opponent's heads. Now, the Boingrot Bounders are a more elite style unit for the Squigs. They are going to have a better save with a 4+. They've got a slower movement, a D6+7, rather than the D6+10 of the Squig Hoppers, but they also have the ability of rend on all their attacks, packing out 5 attacks over the course of the Squig and the Goblin Knight on top, with some nice Rend 1. Boing Smash, their rule, will allow you to do mortal wounds when the unit charges, and they also, when they charge, get some extra rend and damage on their Pokken Lancers as well. Lastly though, we have one of the most unique and interesting units in all of the Gloomspite Gitz, and indeed all of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and that is the Gobbapalooza. This conglomerate of 5 different weird goblin creatures, the Braggit, the Scaremonger, the Shrewmancer, the Boggle-Eye, and the Spiker here, they will have a 6+ save each, but they've got 3 wounds per model. But they've also got the ability to stay alive thanks to their little unit rule, where they can have a ward save of the hallucinogenic fungus brew of a 4+ in turn 1, 5+ turn 2, and then a 6+ for any of the other battle rounds. They have Mesmerize as one of their spells, where they can stop an enemy unit being able to issue or receive commands. They can have the Fungoid Cloud as well, which will make you be able to subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks that target friendly Gloomspite Gitz around them. And then they can also provide some of their little No-Wats, where they can give run and charge to a friendly Gloomspite Gitz units nearby. They can give a +1 hit and wound rolls for one of the Gloomspite Gitz characters. And the Nasty Poison can also allow them to get some extra rend on friendly Gloomspite units as well. Today's video is brought to you by Gap Games, a fantastic retailer in Australia for a variety of different miniature war games. If you'd like to help support the channel, we have an affiliate link where by clicking on and purchasing, you'll help support the channel, but you'll also help support Gap Games, which is a fantastic servant to the community. Now, looking at where to go next, the Squig army has a ton of units that we've already talked about, the Squig Herd, the Boingrot Bounders, and the Squig Hoppers, but there is a variety of different characters we can bring into the force that allow us to play around with some other units and some other combinations. The Squig boss with Nagasquig is the first of these. We have 4 wounds and a 6+ save, and the big thing here is the Macopheles pouch, where in your hero phase you can pick a friendly Squig unit and either give one of the following effects of extra move of 3 inch. You can have the unmodified hit roll of an attack made by the Fang-filled Gobs if it's ever a 6, inflict a mortal wound, or just add 1 to the attacks of them as well. Release the Squigs as well will allow you to once per battle at the start of hero phase, you can say you will release the Squigs, and if you do so, each friendly Squig herd unit wholly within 12 inches of this unit that has not moved this phase can make a normal move. So pretty cool ability to be able to get some extra movement there. Now, the loon boss on Giant Cave Squig is the smallest of our mounted Squig heroes, but we are going to have the Let's Get Bouncing ability, where any Boingrot Bounders units that are not yet fought near this model can immediately pile in after this model fights, and the Moonclan Stabber will allow it to do some extra damage when it charges as well. This model does pack out a decent amount of punch as well, with that Moonclan Stabber being 4 attacks at 4s and 3s, around 1 damage 2. And the massive Fang-filled Gob from the Giant Squig he's riding being 4 attacks at 4s and 3s, around 1 damage D3. Lastly, for the Squigs though, we have the Mangler Squig, which actually comes in 2 different varieties, either as the regular Mangler Squig or the Loon Boss on Mangler Squig. The Loon Boss on Mangler Squig is going to be an absolute hammer. So this thing can put out a ton of different damage attacks with some decent red and even D6 and D3 damage on some of its weapons as well. The Curse Splat rule means after this unit makes a charge move, you pick an enemy unit within 1 inch and roll a number of dice equal to the number of model in the unit up to a maximum of 10, and for each 4+, the enemy unit will suffer a mortal wound. Watch Out means if this model is slain before it's removed from play, it will do some mortal wounds. And Bite to Bad Moon is once per battle at the start of the combat phase, you can say this unit will use this ability, and if you do so until the end of the phase, you add 1 to wound rolls for friendly Squig units while wholly within 18 inch of this unit. Now we do have the other option of the unmounted Mangler Squig as well. This is a cheaper option that you're going to have access to, which is nice. You've got Curse Splat and Watch Out, same as your mounted Mangler Squig with the Loon Boss there as well. And so here we have our sample army list for the Gloomspite Gitz. Now we've gone for the sub-faction, which is going to be the Jaws of Mork. This is a sub-faction that really does focus on getting the most out of all of our different Squigs in the force. And what Jaws of Mork does is we add 1 to the attached characteristic of any Fang-filled Gobs, massive Fang-filled Gobs and huge Fang-filled Gobs used by friendly Jaws of Mork Squig units if they made a charge move in the same turn. So just getting some extra attacks on all our models. Protect the Shrine is an easy grand strategy. Effectively, don't let our shrine be destroyed. And then for our leaders, we have the Rabble Rouser and a Squig Boss in there as well, who's going to be our general with the command trait Skilled Leader. This allows us to try and generate some extra command points. And then the artifact, the Clammy Cow, to make him -1 to hit as well. We then have 10 Squig Hoppers, a unit of 24 Squig Herd and 5 Boingrot Bounders as our battle line unit options, with the Gobblepalooza providing us with some nice utility there, along with the spell that we take in the Hand of Gork, which is a nice teleport. Everything in this force is wrapped up into a 1-drop army with a battle regiment, meaning we can always try and dictate who is getting that first turn for the Gloomspite Gitz. But if you've got some ideas on how to build an army up with Braggit's Bottle Snatchers, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And so, thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, and also drop a comment down below letting us know what you thought about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fine little community, we have a Discord server which is linked down in the video's description, and also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel, either by Patreon or YouTube members, or by grabbing yourself some merch from our Teespring store as well. All of those are linked down in the video's description, and a special thank you to our YouTube members and patrons. We'd like to give you all a shout out, so thank you to our YouTube members John Castle, Disco, James Tillman, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, Ariana Edwards, Broken Chef, the Johnny84, Lock Laurie, Eric, Ronya, Green Roots Gaming, and our patrons Wasaren, Kenny Lyle, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Cure Dynamic, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallows, Redman, Iron Grinch, Colorblind Magic, Grimscold, and Andy C. Thank you all once again, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.